Greetings, Things in Time Culture Expression, there with you. We want to focus on a conversation in relation to Muslims. We're having some difficulties in North America and in the diaspora, and we want to highlight some things so that people don't think so that we say Islam is a way of life, but everyone can jump on board and do as they please. And we are human beings. This kind of thing is abnormal, but yet still normal. And I will explain what I mean. So listen this and enjoy, share, because we're going to excel. Okay. Alice, is Islam and the attitude of human beings that's embraced al-Islam, allegedly, which are then called Muslims, and the behaviors that we're hearing so much about in the last 3 weeks, to be frank. Okay. Things in Time, Culture Expression, we're there with you. And we're going to go to a musical genre. Two of them we will play. And it highlights the attitudes and the mannerisms of just people. So listen good and listen carefully.
Whoa, now, now. Whoa, whoa.
And we're serious all the time, you know what I mean? Serious things. So listen, tell your friend.
Whoa, now, now. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, now, now, now. Yeah, boy. Don't be the flower that bloom in the springtime. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even the rise of the moon in the springtime. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We are grooving together like two turtle doves. Since I met you, baby, everything is coming up. Love, baby. Everything is coming up. Love, sweet love. Love is a song in the breeze in the springtime. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Even the rise of the moon in the springtime. Yeah. I woke up this morning and the blues kind of low. I feel resting and everything is coming up. Love, baby, yeah. Everything is coming up. Love, sweet love, yeah. Love is the flower that blooms in the springtime. Yeah, now, even the rise of the moon in the springtime. Oh, now, now. So we are moving together like two turtle doves. Since I met you, baby,
certain time behave like this or doing this, a reggae music we love to promote. And I say we love to promote because reggae music, cultured reggae music, expresses our feelings, you know, and we give a world message out of our feelings, you know. When a commercial, we also give a protest sound because of the ill treatment that we encounter as children of the slaves. And then the ill treatment that we encounter in the system we call the Babylonian system. And that also applies to all people who are suffering from some sort of oppression. You know, reggae music. And we never make reggae music to make millions. We make reggae music and write songs to elevate ourselves, our people, our community, and other suffering people in the earth. Reggae music and our artists. And now I mention the word artist. We don't come to the realization of a lyrics and a beat through jokes. That is not us, that is not reggae music, and that's not Rasta. See? Make people them who are try make some money out of YouTube or whatever they're doing. I'm only speculating YouTube, but whatever they're doing, some of them we're going to find them and take them to court because they're slander. A slander. See? It's when we travel, some of us travel, or some engineers, technicians, our family relatives also, then get to understand about copyrights and royalties and publishing and this kind of thing. And it's all to do with the rights of a performer, performing rights. You see that word, you know, performing rights and all these things, yeah? PRS and right, all these things we never hear about before. We're not interested, because it's the joy, you know what I mean, of us as a community-wide people and a social people. You see? So when these information reach us, some of us, we just try to comprehend, understand. You see them words there? We don't use them words there. We try to understand and so forth, right? But some people turn and say, "Why, yo, a money I make out there, so you know." See, and that triggered some people off. So, I don't want to link upon that long, but what it has done to some of us, it disturbs us. And others, we just keep doing what we do. You know what I mean? The ones that it disturbed, it really, really caused problem. It caused problem between brethren and brethren, families and families. That's the trouble. So we had a lot of burdens that this thing called money and everything caused us, you know what I mean? Because now someone is saying money is made and the people them that you record with and everything, you know what I mean? The spotlight now is shining on them like they're the ones who know. And they make this money and we just get $500 and we have to pay the musicians and then we have to pay the studio time, and now we're saying, so you tell me, say, Blacker make this, and them say, yeah. But then they say how much Blacker make. It's just that Blacker make money. And then we understand this thing about releasing, you know what I mean? 'Cause we just print 500 record. The people them that help we will print 500 record and we're cool. But now we're here say, yo, over there so in England or America or Canada, right? Thousands of record are print and sell. You know what I mean? So that this cause trouble. See? So we're trying to overcome that because a lot of that was in the middle or the tail end of the 70s, you know. Right? People like Bob Andy and them get to hear about this thing at the tail end of the 60s. You understand? And Bob was one of our prolific songwriter. You understand? I mean, when we say prolific songwriter, he write a lot of songs for other people. You understand? He remember just write for himself. You see? And then you have the Inner Circle and you write Third World and you write Cat and them overstand this thing here. Inner Circle grow to understand the thing, overstand the thing, and intellectually they appreciated the information. Them, you understand? They understood how to project themselves within it and so on and so on. You understand? There are some people that had that administration or, you know, not even the know-how, but the ability. And there's some people that had the ability, but they don't want to deal with this with the something because it kind of like interfere with our moods and our feelings. You understand? Because when we go country and go by river and everything, the thing this start all those things, you know. Because we start dealing with concrete and, you know, hostility and rare talking and, you understand? So the joy, right, was being infiltrated. See? So, beg your pardon, let's go. You know what I mean? Yeah, reggae music, Rastas. You know, not just Rasta, but, you know, the Rasta bring the spirituality, truth and rights and everything in there. Word, sound and power and everything in there. You know what I mean? Just the unification of the human being, the mentality, and, you know, and so on and so forth. Yeah, at that. So you need to know that, you know. You understand? And right now we have a lot of people that go shop and buy something that look like dreads, and, you know what I mean? And some people, we look upon some of them as Rasta. And I have to say some of them, because, you know what I mean? There's some people we know already, and there's some people we don't know. And them are camouflage and them are going somewhere and everything. You understand? And give Rasta a bad name. You see? But we'll come back to that another time. But I want you to listen to these lyrics because we're going to the infiltration into the Muslim communities by some people, and we're getting bad press and a bad look. And some people are use it for their musical video and everything. You understand? It's a stage set to tarnish us because them can sense that intellectually and otherwise we're there. You understand? We're there. And we will be more structured now than before because we have learned. You see? And we keep learning. And now we're independent thinkers. Yes, very much so. Watch it. Come.
The stage is in life. It's to see and know. There are a lot of things that could hurt a man, like taking away his daily bread. responsibility, and we forgot to live a life and be free. Oh, it hurts so bad when there's no one to depend on. Oh, we've got to help ourselves day by day, and we'll be helped in some other way. Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. The stage is in love. There are a lot of things that's good. Ooh, yeah, yeah. The stage is in life. It's to see and know. There are a lot of things that could hurt a man, like taking away his daily bread. I know how it feels when a man's heart is broken. As a man, we've got to stand these blows. Take life serious, 'cause it ain't no joke. There's the children to defend, and not by everybody's dead. No, we all have our own responsibility, and we forgot to live a life and be free. Oh, it hurts so bad when there's no one to depend on. Oh, we've got to help ourselves day by day, and we'll be helped in some other way. Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. The stage is in love. To see and know. Yeah, there are a lot of things that could hurt a man, like taking away his daily bread. There's the children to be fed, and nobody finds it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yes, the stages in life, you know. So we're hearing that there's some people out there a give a bad look to Muslims. But first, we want to let y'all understand this, you know. The word, the name Muhammad is the praiseworthy one. Muhammad, the praiseworthy one. You know, and the name Abdullah, the servant of Allah, the Abd of Allah. People associate that name now with saying that we have um, slavery exists and we are naming people them slaves and uh, we are all abds of Allah, every human being, the abds of God. We depend on God. Yeah? We can't exist in this realm called life and the world without the aid and support of God. The very essence of our lives and the fulfillment and the sustainment of it is from the Creator. Oxygen, water, food, is from the Creator. The life that we have is lent to us by the Creator. No human being, no how much we study science and so forth, cannot do anything but misbehave using our own faculties to justify our own existence when we can't. What I think we should be doing is trying to understand what is the meaning to life and what is the excellence and strive for the excellence of life. But we use our minds of thought and creativity to set up laws, restrictions, interfere with nature. We do all these things, you know, because that's the freedom that the Almighty given to us, that we can do things. But unfortunately, and I'm saying but, which is conjunctions, it has seemed in my lifetime that we've gone the opposite way. And maybe there's a lot of people that is trying to explore the understanding of life and to express it as far as they come to understanding certain things to a population. But because of the controlling of what we call media and everything, they don't get a look. They don't get a mention. So transforming human beings, interfering with nature, removing this and that from plants and so forth, restricting the bees and other insects and everything, that now we're realizing they play a role in the agriculture fraternity. Now to turn that back is hurting some countries. And there's some deliberate people that say no. Well, technology have taken us so far, why should we go back? It's taking too long that way, and so on and so on. Now with these Muslims, or these individuals, and this not nothing to do with Al-Mawali, Brother Malcolm X, Brother Al-Haji Melek El-Shabazz. No, what some of them are saying is because Al-Mawali, Malcolm X, was in prison, that these people are like him. No. They are in prison, many of these people. And some of them, only Allah knows their heart, they make inquiries about Islam and they're genuine. Others go down the Muslim route to get freebies within the prison system. So where they may have some hardship here, there, and everywhere, and them say them want to be a Muslim and them join what circle or classes that's being provided by outsiders for Muslims, then them get to be under sewing or cooking, so they don't have a brutal or a hardship roles that they were encountering before. So some of them do it for those purposes. Others have done it generally, and they improve on their education because they were probably not studying. So now them join classes and they enroll in the prison service, you know. Because a lot of people are in prison and them what they didn't do at school, they're able to accomplish that, and then they entered into a degree course or something of this nature. So they improve academically. And in doing so, their mannerisms, and plus they can tolerate where their tolerancy was very, very low, and their IQ is now awarded. They're now awarded a good IQ level, and they have been appreciated by the external services that comes into those places. So the Muslim ones, them know, the ones that embrace Al-Islam and so forth, they're the exception to the general rule. The other one that said them that they're become Muslim, they have a different objective. They get the freebies, they get the links and so forth, but they have not transformed themselves as to the reason why they're there. They may be thieves. They may be pushers of whatever you. So what caused them to be there as not being dealt with? They retain it. So when they do get parole because of the behaviors and the looks, because many have been able to achieve exit from the prison system through what they have accomplished in 6 months or a year in relation to the inspectorates and everything within that system and their natural ability. But the attitude and that which got them there in the first place has not been dealt with by the individual itself. So them get parole and them come out, and whatever system or support the system give them, we don't know. But they return back to that which got them inside that system in the first place. But now they're wearing, or they're projecting themselves as Muslims. So they're getting a lot of free passes here and there. So they realize that this undercover service or image that they have is useful for them. Islam doesn't play a role in that. Muslims don't play a role in that. They're using the image of Muslims to do what they were doing or do other things now because they got a camouflage. That makes the Muslim bad. Because some of them who have got caught and everything, the media and the state are letting the public understand that they gave X, Z, and Y parole. But X, Z, and Y are Muslim now, and look what they're doing, or look what they've done. You see? So the stench we can smell, which we shouldn't be having to smell, but what they're being charged for, the world is hearing. The world is hearing that X, Z, and Y said his name is Abdullah Rashid, and he was given 30 years. It got down to 5 or 7 before his conversion to being a Muslim, to Islam. He got early parole within that 7, 8 years. The state rehoused him. The parole officers them found him a job because he was a mechanic before, even though he was doing X, Z, and Y. And now he's got a degree in engineering and what have you. So there's a lot of expectation of goodness and a man seeing life and making and developing. But now look what, huh? Islam didn't do that. That's what that person did under the disguise of being a Muslim. So the conversation that we need to have is what kind of support that individual was given coming to Islam in the prison, not outside. Because rehabilitation programs is what all prison services across the world in different countries offers to the inhabitants of these institutions. They are institutions. So what programs did we, the Muslims, offer these people that's interested or showing interest into Islam, to Islam? Because we would have to first identify the lifestyle of that person in relation to where they finish up. Now, somebody outside didn't tell we have gone in there to help with the rehabilitation. So we should be trying to help them to redeem themselves and to clean up themselves mentally, spiritually, systematically. And until then, it is between them and Allah, not we and them. So there's some things that ain't working, has not been working. Sorry. If the person is eager to take the Shahada, I shouldn't be the one that says, okay, let's go. No. The person's supposed to learn how to conduct themselves that they do not return to this place. But it would appear to us now that these Dawah Shahadatain people, their only concern was how much people have taken the Shahada so they can say that them go to Arizona, Louisiana, and them get 150 this month. No. 150 who are interested. And we're working on a rehabilitation program of that 150. Not 150 saying Ashhadu an la ilaha. No, that is what I assume that's been happening. We got to change that. We can't allow that to continue. Don't matter which group of people are doing this. But some of these people are backed by outsiders or they're backed. So they want their quotas to remain the same. So once they get numbers, their quote is going to be there. So they're looking after their financial income and not looking after the human being betterment for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's sake. Because that's what dawah is supposed to be about. The dawah is passing on the words or reciting the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and let someone hear it. Then they make their decision. But someone that's an institution called prison, we should have enough taqwa, God consciousness, and social understanding, because we had to go through some training. We had to prove to that system that we're competent enough to counsel and motivate people. So we've been given the opportunity to do that. That's what we should do. But if you come there now using that yourself just to get people to say the Shahada, then you are the problem, not the people who are the convicts. Not the people, because it is very clear what our position, as well as the Christian and others, supposed to do. We're supposed to help that person organize their mentality, cleanse themselves, and be a responsible and accountable person that do not venture into criminalities of any sort on release. On release. We don't want that pipeline to be maintained. So to us, it would appear that we have a two-pronged problem. The people who are projecting something to do with Muslim life, and the same people who are not helping those people to reform. Reform comes first. You don't try to get someone to embrace whatever you with no reform. Anyone can open their mouth and say something because they see the advantageousness of that in that institution. So we're helping them to be bribers. That's not good. It's not good at all. We have to understand the condition that they're in, and they don't want to be there. The first place is now that they're able to be cooking, they're able to be sewing, and so on and so on. Huh? So just going into that group to know about Allah, know about God, they get an opportunity. Now to swear that they've now changed by saying we're Muslim now, another opportunity. And we're responsible. So where is it? We're not accepting responsibility for those individuals. We're supposed to. The state should charge us as well as the same people. Because now they come out, they remain the same, and they're masquerading, and they've given the image of Muslims in these communities bad name. Then they're violating our females. That's why we're screaming now. So when will we ever this scream? When? Only now they're violating, and now it's become CNN, NBC, everybody's news, Times, Gleaner, Guardian, across the world. And unfortunately, they look like us. They're Bilalians, they're black, they're FBA, they're everything. They're African Americans. This is sad. And then the alleged divorce rate among that numbers, it's alarming. Because they're married today, violate, then divorce. Then they're married again, violate, and so on. So what do you think is happening here? The same thing the state in North America has done to us, removing the man, making it difficult for the man and the woman to exist as a couple and develop their lives and so forth. Now the man move out, knowing that inspection is coming. The sister's now taking care of her home. The sister's pregnant. She gives birth to a child. Now there's a problem. So they're closely examining, closely looking, because how could you get pregnant and you don't have no man? And that system created single parenting in America. In America. Now, we're not discussing femininity to turn around and say, look how much women, look how much people look after the child. But no, that's not the way it was designed. It was designed to be like that. That's not the way God created us. Go around and drop seeds over here and no accountability, no responsibility. Are you kidding me? But we use our mouth and our heads to justify something that doesn't need justifying in that manner. But you have all these programs that come on, and all of us is up there carelessly saying that I did it. Why are you trying to say, right? And you go on Jerry Springer and all these different nonsense and make us look very immature. Immature. And the audience are white. And the majority is black supporting that nonsense. Because they're not going to find the ones that oppose it and understand that a family means family. Huh? So then you have a lot of people just giving birth and they don't understand or look at responsibility and understand how to take care of themselves even before they start having the urge. You have the urge, but then when you go to the extreme now, which is, and then the month come and the sister said, yo, I don't see my cycle, blah, blah, blah. And I went to my doctor and them said that I'm 3 weeks pregnant. Now, that wasn't discussed. The pledges is what happened. The functioning pledges what happened. And everyone knows what can come out of that. Everyone. So you become dismissive. No accountability. You got to take care of the child. You got to maintain the child. You got to raise the child. You got to tutor the child. You got to educate the child. There's so much responsibility. The child is going to grow. You have to nourish the child. You have to show the child balance. The child come from somewhere. So we have to bond with the child. All of these things are scientifically proven, but all these things is a necessity. Why is other people doing it and where they're arguing about who got it done without and blah, blah, blah? Because we've been ignorant. We're justifying the wrongs that we've done. Islam don't bring us there. So all these people now who've come and violate the sisters and everything else, that's the state that they've left them in. So in our communities now is to try and find or justify who's a genuine Muslim, who's authentic. We're not talking about costumes here. We're talking about attitude, behavior, and impressions. So, who's influencing who? Where did this concoction come from? Now, how do we eliminate this concoction? We have to know how to reach the source. Because we can't just look at someone that come out of the penitentiary and assume that they're going to be that type of culprit. See why it's so difficult? And there are thousands, not a couple of hundred, the thousands. And some of the people are so ruthless that when they hear something they don't like in the mosque, they're violating other people. Because they're fresh out of the place and are behaving like boxers. You know, because they've been doing a lot of iron pressing and so forth. We have problems. We have problems. And they're carrying names that makes it even worse for us as well. Right? Because when someone says that this person's name is Bilal, huh? The compassionate. What's compassionate about that person when they're doing these hideous things. And this other one says his name is Muhammad. Huh? And he's not praiseworthy. His behavior. Our names that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given the Prophet are very significant, and it helps us to develop our mannerisms to adhere to common courtesy and dignity at all times. Just the name is our title. Abdullah, with all those fictitious liars that want to create some division and keep referring to slaves and this and that, the other, is the Abd of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everyone wants to be that. We do. Because that means we're obedient and we're close to Allah. So remove what is modern. Remove what is from the dictionary. The slave, the Abd of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is one who adheres and is willingly adhere to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in every aspect of his life. His life. He surrenders voluntarily his attitude, his behavior, his mannerisms for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's sake. He's a virtuous person, Abdullah. But it also comes with a second name. So since you all are so ignorant to the thing, Allah helped us there because you just don't know. And the more we seem to tell some of you, it helps you all to then misuse. And at this stage, even the newscasters ain't got a clue on how to pronounce and how to add to Abdullah. They just say the Abd. You listen to people talking about Mauritania and listen to people talk about brothers and sisters in Nigeria and everything and say, listen, you're blind slaves. Look at you, look at you. What's your name? What's your name? Huh? And so forth. Why do you accept being a slave? Right? Yeah, we're a slave of Allah. We're a slave of Allah. And what does that mean to us? It doesn't mean the same thing to you. What it means by Allah's definition that he gave to the Prophet doesn't mean to you. And the thing that you all need to understand, and I'm saying you all, the world need to understand, Al-Quran wasn't written by apostles and a bunch of people who said that this and this inspiration came to them. No. Al-Quran came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the Prophet Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, just like that. Right? And we've been given the journey of 23 years, a lifetime living, to understand how to implement it in our lives. Do you get it? In our lives. Ask a scientist, when they're in their laboratory and their curiosities and their experiments, what are they doing? Find out. Don't just talk about science. Find out. But many of us seem to forget about school. Chemistry, physics, and science. We forget about school. The process of illustrating or setting up an experiment and the duration of time and the measurements. We seem to have a amnesia or something. You understand? Serious thing. Problems here. Right? With people. Seriously. Muhammad is a glorified name. A praiseworthy, glorified name. You understand? So you can't take Muhammad and just dash it away and then go out there saying you're Muhammad. You people need to understand. So that's why I'm saying that I'm of the opinion that in many facets it's not the person who have served the time. It's the persons like myself who are conveying, tutoring, illustrating, instructing what it should mean to be a Muslim. To be a Muslim. To help that individual transform their self. Because first, I'm going to look at what why you're here, make you try to explain to me why you're here, and you understand? So that counseling therapy needs to start, not Islam. When I am truly consciously aware and can see the program of counseling being attended to, then we can go to the next level. And the next level is how dutiful that person is, and the reports are coming from the prison institutional staff, not the wardens and these people. There's a system there. Until that such time, I'm not going to be teaching anybody about submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm afraid. Because if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do as the Prophet explained to us, then I'm the one that's wrong. And anything that comes out of that person, I am the guilty party. Because I didn't help them to the best of my ability, and I didn't raise their ability. I gave them a key card. Whether it's a blue or a green, I gave them a key card. And well, I should be aware of conditions and circumstances in society. So if I'm not up to speed with society and the chain reactions and everything, I should not be allowed in those penitentiaries. Social justice and social science, I should be one that's familiarized. And if I'm not, I should not be included, I should not be accepted. I'm not qualified to be there trying to rehabilitate. Malcolm was under a rehabilitation program. And the Nation of Islam, he heard. But his brothers were part of the nation. Now, we're not talking about what people call Orthodox Islam, but nevertheless, he was given a creed, he was assessed and evaluated, and he got to such a level that he impressed those who were telling him, and not just his curiosity from what he started to do. And then not how eloquent he became, but how educated they found him to be, which was less than he became more, they were less than him. So when they told other people, other brothers, about this person, other people told other people. And his brother advised him to write to Elijah Muhammad. Now y'all got to get this thing right and stop coming off with your fictitious lies and stuff like that. When Malcolm was freed from prison and working and developing himself and developing and structuralizing things in the nation, Malcolm learned or saw Al-Islam. And he saw that Al-Islam was different, or the way of the Muslim were different to what they use as Muslim. So Malcolm was reading Al-Quran, and not the one that Elijah Muhammad had from the Asian group. No. Then Malcolm started to learn how to pronounce ayahs, surahs within the Quran. Because what Malcolm was privileged to was Elijah Muhammad's house. And he saw that Herbert and all of them, they were reading Arabic. And they were praying. As you people keep shouting out Orthodox, like there's a criminality. And they also went to Al-Azhar University in Egypt. So he was exposed with his intellect and his curiosities to something that helped him. When you all listen to Malcolm, Malcolm was not the run-of-the-mill Nation of Islam spokesman. Don't you all get that yet? I find it so difficult that so much people are mentally, socially illiterate. Hear how I put that? Mentally and socially illiterate. Why? Because that which is in front of you, you know, you understand, but you didn't appreciate it. You didn't appreciate it. You appreciated all this thing about the mad scientist and the white man's the devil, rare, and tear. When Malcolm was trying to get us out of averse poverty, get us to return to education, to educate ourselves, liberate our mental faculties, that was Malcolm. Listen to his speeches. How to address law. How to present ourselves in front of the law, which is the police on the beat. How to have weaknesses while you're addressing them. You're not creating a barrage with them because they can do what they want. Malcolm was more about human rights and dignity. Malcolm wasn't about no Bible and Jesus and all that. When Malcolm did that, Malcolm was representing Elijah Muhammad when he was unavailable. And when you listen to it, you can see that there was someone reading the script and following it to the best of his ability without injecting himself in there. If you knew him, if you was aware of his character and his mannerisms and his social faculties in relation to us. But no, there's a lot of Harry come up, Johnny come lately, like hot gossips. Malcolm wasn't that. But he was that for a lot of people that were intellectually foolish. Like excitement. Like excitement. You understand? So where we should be with Al-Mawali that's gone, we ain't there. We hold on to what Farrakhan came and bought and kept going. Sit back, relax, and ask yourself, what is being put in place? What is being designed? What did we learn? Where can we go with it? Nowhere. It's hot gossip for the time, the season, and the events. Is America different with Farrakhan shutting up saying, if you don't do this, God is going to do this to you, and this is going to happen tomorrow, and everything the Almighty revealed to me in the personality of Fard Muhammad that such and such is going to happen, and then you see some hurricanes come, and everybody knows the season, but yet still you deny it because the minister said so. And then some bushfire and so forth, and it continues. All you get is an aftermath of the fact that America's attacking Libya, attacking Syria, and so forth and so forth. Huh? And you don't look and see that the same American government sent Farrakhan to Iraq, to Iran, huh? As an ambassador, social ambassador, on behalf of the United States of America. But you don't see that because you're intellectually foolish. You're dealing with hype. You don't know the world, you don't have a passport, and you haven't traveled, so you will never see it. Dumbass. Dumb. Now look what it's done to us. Look what it's done to us. So we can't go there and say to this brother, are you a Sunni Muslim? Are you an Orthodox Muslim? Or are you a Nation of Islam Muslim? How stupid are we sounding? Now we got a division. We got a division. We had it already, but they didn't want to hear our teacher. They didn't want to hear W.D. Muhammad. They didn't want to organize their life. They wouldn't want to go and use the institutions and develop themselves. Some people were strong with knowledge, but they didn't want to improve themselves and set up a business and use the talent that they have and raise their families. Some people were hustlers and remain big-time hustlers. Where was Malcolm sent first? Philadelphia. To do what? Clean it up. Get rid of the mafias, man, them that was using the temples. But you all don't want to say that. And some of you don't know that. And some of you do know that. But you think, you know what? Him gone no, man. And that's what has happened in a lot of places. So you all resent him saying his name was Al-Haji. You wanted him to stay the other way. Yeah, like Mr. Smalls, pretensive man. He was a minister, but he made himself popular by condemning Hajj, condemning people. You cannot go to Hajj with the intention to watch other people. No, you go to Hajj and leave the world behind and surrender yourself, your soul, and your mind, your conscience to God so he cleanses you. You help cleanse yourself. But he gone there looking at people and trying to pick out who's a pauper from who's a rich person and blah, blah, blah. And then come back to America saying all this nonsense. So he didn't go there virtuous. He didn't go there with an intention to conduct Hajj. He went there spying and peeping and not looking at his own calamities. So he's lost. But people hear him. And once he said, those Arabs, everybody start clapping and jumping up. He does the same thing every time he goes to Al-Mawali's resting place. What for? What for? And this is a man that traveled. This is the man that have an education. But this is the man that wanted to be seen of others. Wasn't contented with the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have given him in terms of knowledge and what he accumulated from his mother and father and his natural surroundings. This is very bad. Very, very bad. Now we're coming to the end of life. Huh? What have we done? What have we done? It's reflective now. What have we done? What have we accomplished? What have we left for our children and our grandchildren? What have we left for that generation? What did we do but accumulated money, get popular, and make people feel that we're the people to listen to? And where is that taken any of us? Our condition and circumstances still as rotten and still smell as it was in 1970 and 75. No change. Now you want to compare Muslim Worthy Muhammad, Muslim mission, to nasty it up. But it ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. By their fruits you'll know them. We've got good fruits. We have got good seeds. We have sown good seeds. And we're not looking for people to recognize. We're confident. Our families are confident. Our children are confident. Our grandchildren are confident. None of them have to be forced. Our girls that hear all your singers and everything, all our singers and everything, are not intrigued by them. But some of them, we know what they're saying. And we admire them. Some churches, we admire their ministry. Some, we're appalled by them. Because we're humans. But our daughters will never take their clothes off to look like others. No, they won't. And they're not browbeated and constantly reminded, I don't trust you going down the road. You should not walk through Harlem. You should not go through... No, we don't do that. We don't have to. Because our life is reflective of what we are. Al-Islam is a way of life. We're not there talking about, we're living. We're living. We got the tool, we got the instructions, the whole manual. All we have to do is apply ourselves. And that's what Imam Worthy Muhammad showed us, explained to us what the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam Muhammad was conveying. How did he change a people of Jahiliyyah to be righteous people? Come. Huh? People that were burying their girl children and stuff like that and going around with all these 360 something gods and idols and rare. How did he do that? Huh? He followed what Allah gave to him. Muhammad did not write anything. Muhammad did not concoct anything. Can't you lot understand? Muhammad didn't go around telling people he had a dream. No. Muhammad only could have conveyed what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave to him. That's why we're able to memorize what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is given to him. You hear that word there? Memorize. We're not there, our Father who art in heaven, one thing like that. And no. From the cover to cover of the Quran, 30 chapters. Children, elders are reading without the book. Come on. What do you think this is? Gridiron football, NBA? Are you crazy? Why isn't that fascinating for you? You should be intrigued. You should be scientifically trying to analyze how the hell that is happening. And then stop. And then show no sign of stopping. And why should it? If it's from God, why should it show signs of stopping? Are you foolish? But you don't want to investigate that. Take caution to the wind and caution to the highway. There's nothing, absolutely nothing on this earth that can stop Al-Islam. Hear the word, Al-Islam. You can stop Muslims, but you can't stop Al-Islam. Never, ever. You can bomb up this country. You can put sanctions on this country. You can prohibit this country from having some of your luxuries. It's only going to make us so intellectually strong and prudent and give more praises unto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because that land that we have, we will start loving it, making love to it, and be more contented than we've ever been. Don't you get that? No man owns this earth. Doesn't. And when you least expect on what you've been looking for from us as human beings, you're not going to get. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exudes his wrath on the wicked, they will feel it. They'll feel it. You call us terrorists because you're saying that when they get angry, some of them behave like this, to prohibit your population from citing up Al-Islam. And it hasn't worked. So anything that happens, you call this a terrorist act and that not a terrorist act. So you understand? And then another one out there saying that this is Semitic and blah, blah, blah. Right? None of those things have been working. It's just that your publication in the multimedia across the earth, people are hearing it. But you just made yourself look so bad, as per normal. And your X-Team files is showing us that some of our people that should be upright are filthy just like yourselves. But they couldn't have escaped with or without X-Team files. Allah uncovers whom he will, when he wills, in his own time. We don't have to sit back and speculate. Allah does that. Yes, Allah does that. You understand? But some of you are saying, where's your Allah now? What is he doing? And you say he too. You understand? There are people that are very healthy and they have Big problems. There are people that are very sick, huh? And they're searching and they're making pledges with God, pleading for forgiveness. And there are people that are sick, but they are contented and they're the beloved of God because their bodies cannot, huh? You understand? So you have all kind of people. So that big president yesterday, that big president is going through a lot of mental problems. That big president is going through a lot of medical problems. And we say medical because their bodies are giving them all kinds of messages. And at times they wish they're not here. But now they have to testify under pain. And then now realizing the power that they felt that they exhumed can't help them. And some of them have got some wealthy accounts and it can't help them. Did you know? Did you know? So, help yourselves. And don't, for those who are curious, don't have a competition with the Quran and others, and that should help you to make up your mind if the Quran or Islam is something to be involved with. Be open. Be sincere. When you're open and sincere, you take the clouds away and the blindness away from your eyes, and then you open up the radiant of one's heart and the faculties of one brain, and then one will get some wisdom, accumulate some knowledge from the same book, because it comes from Allah. Huh? And no one can't take it from you. No one can't murky it from you because you're on your own. You and the creator of this earth, the heavens, and everything there are. Huh? Then you'll be seasoned to surrender your soul, because all of our souls belongs to Allah. So there's got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, nowhere to park. Huh? And then you realize that this thing is beautiful. Then you start living. Not that we're not living, but we have a purpose. Not just accumulate money, not just to have sex and drop children everywhere and not be responsible for nobody. And so, no. We're living. We feel good. Huh? On a day-by-day, hour-by-hour basis, man. And we understand that there's a beauty to this thing we call life. A beauty. It's not something just to talk about. Something one is feeling. One looks forward to every second. That's Al-Islam. I don't know what you think you're hearing. It's not something by Elijah did this and Shadrach did this. No. Why did these things happen? They happen for a reason. They were the causes, then the effects, and this is how to gain prosperity. Why ain't people propagating the prosperity and to relinquish this obscure way of behaving and so forth? We're not being taught right. Theology don't help that. Theology creates a competition because they want to keep you there. And because you're talking about Elijah, this and that and the other thing, you think that you've gone somewhere. Now, if we're told that Christ bought the Injil, where is it? And to bring the Injil is something given to him by Allah. Where is it? Where is it? Where is him directing us how to implement the Injil? No, you have this thing that someone calls Gospels. Where did they get that word from? And it's not the gospel of Christ, it's the gospel of other people apparently supposed to be telling us something about Christ, but they're having a dialogue and a debate with Paul. And sometimes with one another. But then they jump into the Old Testament, come back around here to Corinthians, and say that this is Christ saying something. How did they come to that conclusion? Right? Theological school has told them that. And they're so illiterate and caught up in the hype that they don't say, well, hold on a minute. Why is it saying that here and you're saying it over here that is Christ that was speaking in the Old Testament? But now you're saying that the Old Testament is now rendered obsolete. The New Testament is what you all are dealing with. So why you keep doing this back and forth? Why can't I read that I, Christ, says X, Z, and Y? Why do I not get the Injil? See? And this is what Muslims are failing to project to Christendom, to those who say they're followers or want to be followers and lovers of Isa alayhi salam. That's why we got our backside kicked in Palestine. One of the main reasons, because we haven't made people to understand that these imposters, or these people are imposters based on fundamental references given to us by Allah, given to us by the Prophet from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No other argument. None whatsoever. It's clear. Now everybody says Biden was gone. He said to the man, I've got your back. Biden announced that he's a Zionist. Trump coming and announced that he's a Zionist. And the whole of the Senate on both parties, they're all saying, we love Zionism, we support Zionism, right? So now it's popular. No one is holding back. So now the question should have been asked by the American communities, which are Presbyterians, and so on. How come? How come? What did we let ourselves into? The Puritans are unpure long time ago. The Quakers are Quakers. The Amishes are Amishes. What happened to the rest? The rest is succumbed to being Zionists. Who's running them? Capitalism, money, influenced by a set of people that spend all their lives convincing them and get them to help them convince the world of something that they were attributed to. Why do you think Russia's hitting people in this place called the Ukraine? Here we go again. Put one and one together and see what we get. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive me from anything that I've said that was out of place, anything that I said was fictitious. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow the human beings, all of us, to have an experience of life that's worthy. And may we declare truth, where we search for truth, and may we live in truth. When it said, know ye the truth, and the truth will set you free, should not the preachers then be teaching the people how to find truth and what is truth? Because if your soul ain't free, your mind can't be free. If your mind ain't free, your heart can't be free. If the heart isn't free, what is radiating from us? Nothing. Hardship is all that we're knowing. Mental, systematic poverty is what we're left with. Now we're mentally oppressed. mentally oppressed. Not a good place. So we are say guidance from that, and we'll come back with the stages of life. Listen good to the lyrics.
The stages in life, it's to see and know. There are a lot of things that could hurt a man, like taking away his daily bread. I know how it feels when a man's heart is broken. As a man, we've got to steady his flows. Take life serious, 'cause it ain't no joke. There's the children to be fed, and the mother finds dead. We all have our own responsibility, and we forgot to live a life and be free. Oh, it hurts so bad when there's no one to depend on. Oh, we've got to help ourselves day by day, and we'll be helped in some other way. Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. The stages in life, it's to see and know. Yeah, there are a lot of things that could hurt a man, like taking away his daily bread. There's the children to be fed, and everybody's dead. Yeah, 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 oh, yeah.
Great sound, you know. I tell you, true inspiration. So I go back to my brother, you know, from a different mother every time.
Whoa, now, now, whoa, 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 now, 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 yeah, boy. Don't be the flower that bloom in the springtime. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even the rise of the moon in the springtime, springtime. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We are grooving together like two turtle doves. Since I met you, baby, that everything is coming up. Love, baby. Everything is coming up, love, sweet love. love, baby. Yeah. Everything is coming up, love, sweet love. Yeah. Love is the flower that blooms in the springtime. Yeah, now, even the rise of the moon in the springtime. Oh, na. So we are moving together like two turtles. Since I met you, baby, said everything is coming up. Love, baby. Everything is coming up.
You see, rhythms like this, it not support badness. It not support gangsterism and all that. It just support love and harmony. So you see, people them who has been assessing and evaluating Jamaica get to figure out certain things. And then when them see what happens in certain districts in England among people, despite racism, prejudice, and so forth, them can only say that is the music that elevates them. Why ain't they showing rebelliousness? Why haven't they done this? You understand? And this is the sociologist and so forth. So it become a big thing. I worked in that sector, but it become a big thing, you know. And our youth them, Rasta youth them, attend Babylon school, have a different behavior set. And look what happened from the 90s till now. What them call gangs and cults, groups and everything. You see? And now you have people who are nasty up our music and our people more and more, because them find say if we can eliminate that, they're going to be like us. And what is us? We're going to be rogues. We're sticking to our morality. You understand? We're not sticking to our morality. And morals highlights the soul. And the culture elevates that to those who are looking without us trying to impress anyone. You see? So, a serious thing. Very serious. That's why I say reggae is my musical Bible, you know? Myself person, you know. So you have the 12 tribe of Israel song called Jalof, you know, and everything. But we still have the selector, you know, and some righteous people still around him with things that he's doing. But if anybody ever hear Jollof music, you know say you're hearing revelation. You see it? Yeah. And nobody can't tell you see them got Jollof and them see turbulences and you know, and them something there. No. Undressed women and vulgarities and nothing so. Right? Never. And could never happen even now. You understand? So we want to set guidance until the hours tomorrow. We got hometown, Tippertown, hometown. You know, some dubwise, no otherwise. Some people that come and socialize, coming from the Rastaman stable. You know what I mean? So whether you gather around like Cain and Abel, right? Nobody na hit nobody. Nobody na, huh? Yeah, we just love, So we say guidance. Don't get scared. Peggy, don't get scared. Walk out. Oh, what you see now, hold up no man. We have two sisters in front. You understand? You see it? Okay. Two sisters in front, Right? When some people come up in the chat, I want to ask them which part of the continent you think any of them come from. Yes, man. I tell you. Come here. Don't get scared. Jump around in the front room. Yeah. Listen, Zikayo. Move it. Activity. Listen and listen. Mix it. Far right. And I. Far right. No other I but far right and easy, sister, easy. And a thing called dubwise, you know. No otherwise. And that make us socialize in such a way, you know what I mean? And you go places like Mali, Burkina Faso, and Senegal, and Sudan, uh, and Ethiopia. You see the people them do a thing called Zika. You see? And not Zambia, Zaire. You understand? And Mauritania. You see? And the whole expression and movement, we're in the world, you see? But we're not of the world. You see what I mean? The spirit is free. And then you see the unification of that. Everyone is in harmony. Everyone is in harmony. Yeah? In the movement. And nobody not saying nothing, you know. It's just the sound and the body movement is in perfect synchronization. You know what I mean? So when a people them see that, for them it seems threatening, and I am asking why. You understand? Why is it threatening? You understand? And we are free. We're happy. You understand? Seriously, we're happy. So I say give thanks, we're gone. Tell the next one and share it, man. You understand? And try to figure it out yourself. Try to figure it out. You understand? Yeah. Um, them music, they make long time, you know. Serious thing. You understand? Long time. But tomorrow, I'll tell you about the artists, them. A little about each artist and everything pertaining to them sound there. You know what I mean? So we say guidance, we're gone.